Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Connie. I want to welcome everybody back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I put together this long rectangle candy box from my scrapbook. I did make this at Christmas and had some requests to show you how to put it together, so I will share with you that. When this box came into Cricut Design Space, I left it grouped and I selected 11.5 as my width. Did not change anything else. So in the finished size, it comes to about 4 3/4 long. And I had this written down somewhere. I do apologize. It's about 2 inches tall, between 1 7/8 and 2 inches tall. And then the depth of it, it's about 1 5/8 inch deep. What I'm using these for, my sister makes cake pops. Yeah, cake pops. I've never had them, but she makes them dozens and dozens at a time. But she's going to be using them for her co-workers to put some cake pops in for Valentine's Day. So anyway, the little Cupid is also from Design Space. I don't know the file number. If you just type in Cupid, you will get, I think there was 2 of them that were free. And then I don't have glitter paper, so I hand glittered these. I don't know, there's 3 layers, and I just inked the back. It's some of the glue showed through, but I'm leaving it alone. But yeah, I did the glittering myself with the Versamark ink. I forget what that powder is. There's a name for it. You put on there, heat and stick powder, I think is what they call it, from Stampin' Up! Anyway, but I know other companies have it. You put the Versamark on, you put the heat and stick powder on, you heat that up with the heat tool. Then while that's hot, you sprinkle it with glitter. And I did a couple layers because it would have been too smart to cut this out of red and then glitter it. It would have gone a lot quicker. Anyway. Quick get this going because this don't take that long. It's just the embellishing on the top takes a little bit. But I used a magnolia blossom. All my flowers are from Really Reasonable Ribbon, as is my ribbon. I took out the center stamens of the magnolia blossom and put this red set in there instead, those little pearly beads. I don't know what they're called. And then my greens, other than these little darker green leaves, they come from out of the way, these 2 dies. This is from Stampin' Up. This I believe I got off of eBay a long time ago. And by the time I curl them up, I'll show you one of each. This is what they look like. I've inked the edges and everything, and then I flatten them out somewhat to put them on here. And then I just use my bow it all. My Zetter bow it all to make the bow. And it's got an acetate piece in the middle. That piece comes with the file. I cut it separately. I don't cut it with my Cricut. And then this one has just a plain white insert. It's removable. You do not have to use the insert if you don't want. It'll just make it, a little bit smaller, but also very cute. I thought that added something, so I'm leaving those in. So let's go ahead and get started. What I've done is I've cut my pieces in the different colors I wanted. This one is going to have a white base instead of red. It's going to have a pink lid. It's the lid piece. The inserts, I'm choosing to do the dark pink on the inside, so the lighter color will be on the outside. Excuse me, having a struggle today. This is the piece that goes on the top, and then you have the 2 sides. Then you have 2 end pieces here. So what I've done, I have burnished all my fold lines, and I have also inked all my edges. I do not ink the whites. I do not ink this because it's quite light. Very simple. I'm going to start with my lid, and before I do anything, I have just a piece of, this is lightweight acetate. It doesn't really matter. I just cut it. My piece ends up being bigger than the piece that cuts out. It just works better for me. So what I do with that, my art glitter glue, the bottle was getting so grungy, and I had this refill bottle, so I'm using this. You can use, I think it would work if you use, what do I want to say, like double-sided tape. It's just make sure it's very thin, because if you cut the piece from the vial itself, it's going to be quite narrow. I'm not going to use that. I apologize. It take a while to get the glue to the end because it's not very full, about not even halfway full anymore. I managed to use up 2 bottles, or finish off 2 bottles of glue this weekend. So I tell you, they were both very low, so it's not as if I have been that busy, but I do go through a lot of glue, obviously. I will be coming back on soon with the Kleenex holder. I just have to get something cut for a design for it. So, but all I do is I just put this in. I don't know where my spoon folder is, so I'm going to rely on my fingers to really get this down. And I apologize, my fingers are so swollen today. I am very congested, so if you get a little bit of smear on there, it's not going to show. Your greens are going to take up pretty much everything, so just so you kind of are aware. And then there's these little tabs on the end of the long side. Well, before I do that, I'm going to put my top pieces on. Otherwise, it's harder for me once it's standing up. So I've got this top piece here first, the little thin piece. That little piece that cuts out in the middle, you can do whatever you wish with that. This is where I miss my art glitter glue, but you know, this is what I used to paper piece with before I used art glitter glue. These big bottles, and it worked fine. Went through a lot of adhesive eraser, but I managed to make it work. Get that centered as much as you can. And then these 2 little rectangles, they just go on each end. Kind of finish it off. I am using up paper, so I think. So this is, I don't even know what this paper pack is anymore. I believe it's Echo Park, but I don't know the name of it. I thought I saw it around somewhere recently, but I don't know where. I am just trying to use up as many scraps as I can. Don't know why things don't want to stick today. I don't have very good luck with ATG guns, or I would probably use that for video, but this, we can see a little bit. I just kind of try to center it so the ends meet. Okay. Excuse me, I'm trying to get some of what that is. Okay. Then you have 2 of these little pieces. They just go right here. Should have went and got my smaller bottle of adhesive, but we'll make this work. So I hope everyone had a happy new year. I did not do anything. I stayed home and read a book, which is normal for me. And I'm trying to think, I didn't go to my mom's because she had her great-grandchildren there, and sometimes they're too much for me, so I just stayed home and read a book. and had a very nice evening. I had New Year's Day off and I worked then Saturday, so all right, now I will put the ends together. These files are cut or designed so nicely. They just go together wonderful. And I do line these up and I hold them a little bit till that glue gets a chance to stick. This is quick drying glue, but not quite as fast as art glitter glue, which in some cases works better for me. This is one of those times. I get overzealous with trying to do things, and it might be better to come back and do it once it's a little bit drier. Do all 4 pieces, all 4 corners, and then come back. To make sure my video was actually recording, because every once in a while it does not. I just double check. I just realized I have one scrapbook layout to a video of, and I have 2 more I have to find. I have the pieces cut, and I don't have the designs for it, so I've got to get busy and do that also. Just been trying to do a little bit of everything and haven't been doing quite as much paper piecing and crafts, giving my hands a break, and we'll see how it goes. And let that corner dry. I come back and I just burnish my corners a little bit better. So there is the lid. Very simple. Basically, it's the same thing. We'll do this piece first. It's the same thing. You just take these little tabs. I tend to do one at a time so I can hold them a little bit. If you want to put little clips on, you can do that. The corners match up just wonderful. Yeah, I've never had problems with her files going together just so easy. The only thing I think I tried, but when I first did this, I was having such a struggle with design space and the new mat from the classic to the new style, things not showing up properly, and then Cricut saying it, or my antivirus saying that Cricut was a virus, and oh, I don't know if you saw all of that or had any issues with that, but so I did not get the score line or the cut marks changed to score lines on these, and because the cut marks are quite small, I usually just leave them. I believe you can. Some of the older files, it just does not work to let you do that. I just got mad and quit playing with it, and I wanted to get something done. So sometimes I just choose my battles with design space, and sometimes I don't have any problems, and other times I would like to throw it out the window. I don't know what I do. I think it's user error mostly, to be honest. It's with any time there's an update on any kind of a program, have it, my work, anything, you know, there's always little things that need to be fixed. So, and the gal I talked to at Cricut said the last update was one of those that sound like there might have been a lot of bugs in it. little fixes I had to do. That's the insert. Very simple, just to put those little tabs together. This box looks a little bit different because it's got this extra little flap on. If you don't want those, cut them off, but I think it kind of finishes the inside of the box. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm sorry I don't always talk so much when I'm trying to work. I apologize. Let's start with these little side tabs. Put them in. And if they don't quite match up at the top, this corner here, all you have to do is just pull this piece here, just pull it up the slightest bit to match. I don't know why that is, what it does, but it works perfect. Then it matches up great. Sometimes you have to push it one side down, pull one side up, however. And you only put glue on this little tab head. You don't put any on this top. You just put it up to the first score line there. And it would be a little, now this is when you want to make sure you really get it square here on the sides. It would be quicker with my other glue, but I'm going to do two at once because they do, this glue has more give, but the first time I might recommend just doing it as one. Do each one individually. Because if the glue doesn't hold right away, they move, and then you have a mess. And yes, I'm speaking from experience. Let's do this side. This one was done first. Okay, so it's all lined up. This one's lined up, and what I do with these 4 outside flats, I put glue, and I do that 2 short ends first. I don't know if this is how it's meant to be. This is what I do. I glue them down inside. I just like it. It kind of finishes that inside a little bit. And I think it was somewhat designed if you are not using that insert, that scalloped insert. It does finish the inside box off more. Trying to decide, I'm working on a project and I have to get some odds and ends. It's not really paper related stuff, but I was hoping my sister is going to make a trip shopping and I could go with her, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm trying to figure out so I can get everything in one place where to order. I need some pearl cotton and some buttons. And then just if anybody has like an Etsy shop they know of or something, I'm looking for not real expensive, but a place to get flat lace and some trims and stuff. And I would like, it's more like a almost like a bridal type flat lace. It's like more of an elegant thing. So if anybody has any shop names, please let me know. You leave them in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so this is the inside, just as the box top. If you want to stick around, I'm going to do the embellishing. Otherwise, that's how you put the box together. It's very simple. I have not put any little tags on yet. I'll probably add those later, just a little sentiment. But I'm going to start on the top now. I have to get my mat out here for my greens though, first of all, and I had it here somewhere. Here, my tool to get my greens back somewhat to normal. I cut 2 of each of those that I showed you at the beginning. So I have 2 of these. And 2 of the other one. I have on the leaves, I don't know if you can see that, I just draw, this is in brown, I just draw a line just to kind of add a little bit, and then you can also do green. I'm just flattening them out just a little bit so I can glue them down easier. And for this, I'm going to use my art glitter glue, so I'm going to tip it upside down. Just hold it here for a bit so it can get going. Watch, I'll have glue everywhere down my pants and everything. It's between my stomach and the table. You can do these however you want to flatten them. It doesn't really matter. These get to be, they're so fine, and the vines are very small, so they get to be kind of tangled some. And I don't want to tear them, so I'm trying to be careful. I think we'll do one here. Just we have, helps if you have somewhere to glue it. That's what I'm trying to do. A ways back, I do have a video on how I do my greens. I don't know if I'll be able to find it to link it or not, but very simple process. Very, very simple. It's just cut them out and you can, if you want, put some ink on the edges, and I spray the back, let them dry a little bit, and then I start curling them with my embossing tool. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way for now. I have, this is my middle flower, my magnolia, and I changed out the stamens for pink instead of red this time. I'm using 2 pink apple blossoms. I think these are, I don't know if these are 15 or 20 millimeter. It might only be 15. Anyway, so those are my roses, and I have some of my little leaves. I leave about maybe a 1/2 inch on the stem or so, and then I curl them up for a reason. I'll show you in a moment. Got 3 of those. And then I have this little bow I made. That's also from Really Reasonable Ribbon. So I'm going to start with my greens. See if my glue is, at some point I can use it. Yes, okay. I want to get my lid out of the way so I don't glue on it. I just put little dots of glue in different spots. You don't have to put glue over the whole thing. It not necessary at all. My little tweezers here to hold it. I start in the middle, kind of somewhere, and just pop it down. Now this glue, remember, does dry clear if you're using this kind of glue. So this works really well. And like I said, a lot of it's going to get covered up anyway. Then I'm going to take my other one and just come back and go the opposite direction. And if you're not sure where to place it and where you want your glue and stuff, I would just recommend, you know, putting it down on there first. Just kind of give you an idea, give you a visual idea of where you want to put the glue. Trying to keep my glue so it doesn't go all over everything if it oozes out. Kind of trying to get this so I get it a little bit of off center, so when I put the other ones on, you'll have a little bit of a mixture of glue, you know, in different spots, or greens in different spots, excuse me, glue. Goodness. And remember, a lot of this is getting covered up by flowers, so it's not the end of the world if you see a little bit of glue. But because of that acetate, it takes a little bit longer to grab a hold. And then this one, I'm just gonna kind of, I'm not sure how I want to go here. Yeah, I think we'll go like that. It's just going to be basically the same design, and the greens and leaves and everything the same as the other one. One wants to stick, one doesn't. Well, we're going to go like that. Okay, those other three little leaves I'm going to leave out for now. Don't want to put those on. And then I bring in different glue. If you have hot glue to put this stuff down, it's good too. I don't know about the acetate because I don't know if it's heat resistant. I do somewhere in my stash have some heat resistant acetate, but one of those things I have no clue. Oh goodness. Get the lid off. I have Fabric Fix. It's from Beacon. Fabri-Tac works. It's just because these flowers are mulberry paper, but they act like fabric, so this glue just works a lot better for me, other than the strings. I'm just trying to hold that down a little bit. You can't cut that too close to the flower if you're doing this, because the stamens will all fall out because they're all glued within that green tape, or they're all centered in there. So I'm going to put this, so this is back because I'm putting the ribbon behind this time, same as before, and so that will allow me to put that ribbon in there. And then we'll cover it up. If you can see, there's that little stick. It'll just, these will not be real solid right now. It takes a while for this glue to take a hold, so not a problem for me. I just kind of like with the glitter, trying to get the glue out, kind of like with the glitter, don't touch. I've had wrecked more projects, or had to go back and find a way to fix them because I can't leave it alone. Got to keep doing something to it or fiddling with it, and glitter everywhere. So I'm not good at arranging flowers, so I just put them wherever. I just didn't want the pink roses first because I didn't want white on white, and because the pink roses are smaller than these, I do this. I don't have any little filler flowers, which I should get, but it works. These aren't for me, so I'm footing the bill, so I just do what I have, use what I have. Okay, and then I'm putting my roses this time back a little bit. Otherwise, you can put them in front. You could do, one or the other, but I'm just going to do them in back some. And I don't have the knack to, the wire that comes on these stems can be curled into little curly cues, I call them. I don't know what they're really technically called. I don't have a knack to do that either, so I don't do that. I've seen it as adorable, but yeah. Okay. Sorry this is taking so long. These do take me a while though to put together. And then I am going to put the stems on first. Just going to put one back here and a couple in the front. I was just going to say there was something I'm looking for, but I'm not saying a word because my crafting angel gets it for me, so I'm just going to keep my big mouth shut. I'm going to try anyway. Me and my big mouth. I got the most wonderful Christmas present from my niece and her family. It's a mug, like the stainless steel mug. She does the glitter and all that and the epoxy and everything. And I got one with a handle because I have a struggle holding on to glasses. So on it says I have I have a big heart, but this mouth. And she knows me very well. I do have a big mouth. Gets me in trouble sometimes. Okay, and arrange your ribbon however you want. Now here's the problem for this one today. This is my cherub piece. Like this one that's glittered, the red one. I had to go and put glossy accents on it. Maybe it's dry enough to touch. Tried to dry it with the heat gun. Don't do that with glossy accents. You have a mess. Just let it dry natural. It's not quite dry, but good enough that we can put it on. I'm going to stick it right in here. I used the flower and the ribbon to hold it. So let me get my wrong glue. I gotta put the lid on or I'll have a overflowing mess. Excuse me. I'm gonna use two glues. Art glitter glue to kind of get a quicker hold. That pin. And also some beacon to give it a good strong hold. And it's just that the art glitter glue will hold a little quicker. I just put glue kind of on the edges. You might have to come back and add some in, but I just kind of stick it in there. And then to get it to hold better, to stand up better, what I do is I come back and I push that ribbon up. So here, give you an idea. And then this flower, there's a green stem back here, this green leaf, because it's wired. I'm going to glue it onto the bottom of the foot. And it should, I just kind of work at it until it gets it where I want it. Once it stands up, well, it's just kind of at an odd angle for me. Once it gets stuck in there and glue's dry, it will stay. Oh, what am I doing? Holding it wrong. I don't want to turn it too much. Trying to get this back so it stands up straighter. But if I leave it alone, it will stay where I want it now. And get the lid on. The lids do go on really well. It's just when it's wet, I'm trying to be so careful. Oh, goodness. I'm having a, you know, when I'm on camera, nothing ever wants to work right, and otherwise, boom, it's fine. But that is the finished piece. I have to lay it flat now and prop it up so that the glossy accents can dry better. But yeah, that's it. It's very, if you want, you can add glitter to the leaves. I might do that after a while, some crystal glitter, but that's all you have to do. It's very simple. And thank you all for joining me. Have an awesome day.